Hey everyone, it is Havel High here, bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Here we are again doing another edition of Best Teams on Global. This is the April 2019 edition. So if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff, and always a shout out to DBZ Space and the Dokkan Wiki for info and images provided. So let's go ahead and get into it. Of course, the term best teams is my opinion and it's purely subjective. There is no official tier list or best teams rankings from Akatsuki or Bandai. Any references or research sources will be linked in the description below. And how I actually rank and build my teams is more of an overall approach, and that's looking at the leader skill. Damage output is very important. Passives, SA, specials, links, HP, defense, bench and flexibility, effectiveness, and I did add one extra thing here, and that's relevancy. There's some teams that it was very hard for me to test because no one's running them anymore. It was hard to find a friend, so it loses a little bit of points. It's not going to be an overall de-rank something just because of that, but it's gonna affect it just a little bit. So how I do build the teams here, of course you have a leader. Typically you're going to run 4 damage dealers along with a support unit. However, that flex position, you can have damage dealer, you can have a tank, you can have a healer, you can also have a second support unit, a multitude of different things on a flex position. So and then on the bottom of the screen you'll see that you'll have a bench with those alts down there. So if you've never seen my videos before, hopefully that kind of help you examine when you see the builds. So with that, before we get into the list, I do want to say something, right? This is recorded at the early part of April. The end of April, a lot of craziness is going to happen in Japan, and there's 3 major events for Dragon Ball. And let's quickly talk about it because it might affect the global edition of the game. And that is, we're going to celebrate in Japan the 30-year anniversary for Dragon Ball Z that was aired in Fuji TV. So that, I believe it's April 26th is the date. I did a whole video on that. Feel free to check that out. I'll post that in the link below as well. Then, in the end of April is also Golden Week, and that's going to leak into the beginning of May as well. And then also with various different sources and discussions that they will possibly be doing a announcement for the return of Dragon Ball Super coming in July. So that's 3 major events happening in the end of April. Yes, it's all happening in Japan. However, because we've celebrated same day on the global edition with Transformation Vegeta, we might have a chance to get a Golden Week celebration, maybe a 30-year anniversary celebration, or even a return of Dragon Ball Super. We will see, and hopefully we do, right? As global fans and global players, we hopefully are a part of these celebrations. So take a with that with a grain of salt, and cross your fingers. But anyway, just know that this video is recorded in the beginning of April and the end of April. A lot of things have changed. Oh yeah, by the way, Avengers Endgame. I know that's out of the realm of things, but that's happening in the end of April as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the listing here. Just know that because of dual category leaders, you won't see a breakdown for Gogeta, Jiren, AGL Turles, and Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku because of the dual category leaders, but I will put those back in the rankings at the end of the video, so look out for that. So let's look at the previous month. Previous month is the rankings here. So just know that the top portion of the rankings really didn't change, and it's more of the bottom portion of the top 10 that have made some, I think, some significant changes there. So so let's go ahead and start there, and just know that there's 2 teams that dropped out of the top 10 surprisingly. 1 actually very surprisingly, and then 2 are being added into the top 10. So let's get started by the first honorable mention. I know some of you guys are gonna be angry, but Android supporters, once again out of the top 10. You've been here before. You snuck back in. Now you're back out of the top 10, and you guys are still honorable mention here. So this team is a defensive juggernaut. However, offensively, it just does not hold up comparable to the other teams because being LRCell on this team, you got to have a lot of enemies to deal with to maximize their damage. The bench really isn't overly too strong, and but yeah, very amazing on defense. But defense isn't the primary thing on Dokkan, but it is important but you also have to have that offense as well. So coming in as an honorable mention is the Android category, Key plus 3 HP and attack 170% with defense 130%, with a secondary leader skill of super physical, ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 90%, and that is MVP 17 out of the top 10. The next big surprise is the first time this team has dropped out of the top 10, and that is Super Saiyan 3 Bardock in the Super Saiyan 3 category. This was a surprise to me too, but adding that relevancy portion really made the biggest change, because I'll tell you what, this team still hasn't changed since the beginning of when it got introduced, and this is the mirror opposite of the androids. Yes, this team is still one of the hardest hitting teams in the game. However, defensively, it's not good at all. There's really no no reasonable unit on there that actually has a decent defensive buff. However, the EZA of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta that's coming to global hopefully next month could possibly put this team back into the top 10. We'll see when that happens. But yes, first time out of the top 10 is the Super Saiyan 3 category, ki plus 3, HP 130%, attack and defense 170%, with a secondary leader skill super int, ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 90%, and that is Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. Yes, if you're surprised, I was too. So let's look at the top 10. Here it is, top 10. So the coming in at number 10 is the new kid, that new category that just was introduced, and that is the Wicked Bloodline with a gel metal cooler. That is right, top 10 here. That's Wicked Bloodline category, ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 170% across the board, with a secondary leader skill of extreme AGL, ki plus 3, attack and defense 100, or I'm sorry, not 100, HP and attack and defense 90%. Now you might go, wait a minute, 170% across the board, shouldn't they be ranked higher? Yes, they should be. However, the units in and itself really aren't that great yet. They have, a great 1-2 punch in the final form strength Frieza with the cooler, with the physical cooler. But then what's really missing is the summonable LR for this team, for this category, because right here you're using the free-to-play Cooler Army, which is a great unit, but it will never compare to a summonable LR, which hopefully could be Golden Frieza for Golden Week. A lot of people have been talking about that. We'll see on that prediction if that will come true. I would love to see that happens, but you can flex out that position, the LR there, along with the transforming Frieza. You can put in Golden Frieza, you can put in full power EZA Frieza, so a lot of Friezas basically you can use on there. Now if you do want to use the Golden Frieza as another support, you're going to have to take out the STR Final Form Frieza, because he is not a movie hero, and you got to make sure you have movie heroes, not movie heroes, I'm sorry, movie bosses. He's not a movie boss, so if you do want to run that as a movie boss secondary buff support unit, you can. But coming in at number 10, a good start for a 170% across the board Wicked Bloodline category in AGL Metal Cooler. So coming in at number 9, I shortchanged this team last month, and I kind of said it was going to sneak in maybe this month. No, it actually jumped up to number 9, and that is the Future Saga category. That's right, this team got an incredible upgrade, an incredible buff, and I don't think enough people talked about it, because running this team, it really doesn't have any weaknesses. The weaknesses is the leader, is the Physical Gohan. No one likes Physical Gohan. It's not Future Physical Gohan, and yeah, he's not good, but the rest of the team is fantastic. So the leader skill is Future Saga category, ki plus 3, HP 130%, attack and defense 170%. Yes, he got the shaft, not getting a secondary leader skill at 170% attack leader. But look at the rest of the team, right? Cover up Gohan real quick, right? You're running one of the best 1-2 punches in the game. You'll see this 1-2 punch multitude of different times on the top 10 list, and that is Rose and LR Rosemasu. But then the introduction of these EZA units in Tech Vegeta Blue and the Future Physical Trunks, they're incredible. Why they're incredible? They're just support units? Not really. They're support units that can actually do some decent damage. And on this team, being a 170% attack buff, they actually can do some significant damage. And with the LR Trunks linked up with the Future Trunks, the EZA Future Trunks, man, though that main rotation, LR Rosemasu, Rose, LR Trunks, Future Trunks, EZA, an incredible 2-turn rotation there. And then yeah, you have the Vegeta Blue and then the Gohans floating around. That's fine. But yeah, definitely in on the top 10. I really like this team. Now the question is, will the Time Traveler Saga outdo this? I don't know if it can, because of the 170% attack and defense, and Time Traveler is only 150. It might not jump up, but it's going to have a better bench, and that's why it might be better than this team here. But we'll see. We'll see when Goku Black does come out on Global. But as you can see, the bench here, it really isn't that great. So, so with that, this is coming in at number 9, Future Saga category, and Future Gohan. All right. So number 8 is actually a increase for this team. It got a little love, a little help, and that is the Resurrected Warriors category with AGL Golden Frieza. That's Resurrected Warriors, Ki plus 3, HP 130%, attack and defense 170%, with a secondary leader skill of Int, Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 50%. So this team here is still probably reign supreme as the best team you can run, with Resurrected Warriors running the LR Bojack and LR Broly, and with their counterparts of the flex position there in the TURs. You want to run those side by side of each other, and it will create that 6-link benefit. And then you have that amazing Boo buff that will float around on this team and can do some quite amount of damage. Some solid defense from Bojack and also from Golden Frieza. Yes, we know that Broly a little bit more of a glass cannon there, but hey, this got to upgrade because we have AGL Metal Cooler that you can actually put on this team. So this team might look something like this, where you're still using the LR TUR combos, whether you're going to use Broly or Bojack, up to you. You want some AoE or you want some defense. That's your choice. But then if you put the AGL Metal Cooler on here, you can probably run a dual support team build with the Demon King Piccolo as the other support unit. Now you can't run the Int Metal Cooler because it has the same name as the AGL Metal Cooler, but yeah, this team can run fairly well if you want to try this out. It does fine. But I still think this team is still the superior one. Now, Resurrected Warriors does get extra points because you can run this team, because it has Strength Broly on here. You can run this on World Tournament and put in, Jocko and Chaozu on here and run this, so it does get that extra points on there. So coming in at number 8 is Resurrected Warriors, moving up 1 spot, which is great for AGL Golden Frieza. All right, so let's talk about number 7 and number 6. I had a really hard time picking between the two, because you could say pluses on both of them and then minuses on both of them. So ultimately, I just kept it the same. And that is coming in at number 7 is Realm of Gods. Yes, they got a buff because of EZA Beerus, and we'll talk about them in a second. But I still think this team is the superior team. Once again, you see LR Rosemasu and Strength Rose 1-2 punch, but don't forget about this 1-2 punch on Realm of Gods, and that is AGL Gogeta with Tech Vegito Blue. That is a great pair there with Over and Flash, and they do a great amount of damage as well. Excuse me. So yeah, this team is fantastic. Look at the bench. The bench is really good. And yes, it did get an opportunity for a new main rotation, and you could take out the Gogeta and Vegito Blue and add the EZA Beerus with the LR Beerus, which I think is another amazing 1-2 punch. So up to you on which team that you want to run. I still think that this one is the better of the two overall wise, but man, you can't go wrong with running this team either. The only problem with this team is now you're healing with Beerus as well with LR Rosemasu, so I don't think you'll ever make the transformation with UI Goku. So coming in at number 7 is Realm of Gods category, Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 150% across the board. Int category, or Int Ki plus 3, HP and attack and defense 150% as secondary. That is coming in number 7, UI Goku. So coming in number 6 Coming in number 6 is Universe 6 and Universal Survival Saga, the dual category in tech hit. This team I think is underrated. Not too many people use it. I think JP is now really seeing the power of tech hit. That's Universal 6 category, key plus 3, HP and attack defense 170% across the board. And then Universal Survival Saga, key plus 3, HP and attack defense 150%. Now, this team also, like the Metal Cooler, doesn't have a 170% LR that you're going to be using in the Universal 6 category. Hopefully we'll get an LR Kefla or something of that nature, but you are running LR Friku, and LR Friku is still one of the hardest hitting, if not the hardest hitting unit in the game. And if you're running that, it was hard for me to drop this down to number 7 and move Realm of Gods up because of that combination of MP17 and LR Friku. And then, you know what, if there are enemies that you're gonna fight that can get stunned, and if they can get stunned, they're gonna get stunned on this team because you have Jiren, you have Hit, and that combo is deadly as well. If they're stunned, they're dead because of the automatic crit from Jiren and then the additional damage from Hit. It's all over. So, and this team does have a decent bench along with it. You can run a full Universe 6 team here, but I think this mix here with Universe 6 and Universal Survival Saga is the better team. So coming in at number 6 is the Universe 6 and the Universal Survival Saga combination dual category leader in tech hit. So coming in at number 5, top 5. So top 5 from here to 1 didn't change from last month, so I'll quickly try to go through it. And coming in number 5 is the Transforming Vegeta, Pure Saiyans category, key plus 3, HP and attack defense 150% across the board with that super class key plus 3, HP attack and defense 100%. What an amazing secondary leader skill. And the reason why this team is number 5 is that flexibility. Flex, flex, flex everywhere because of the amount of units you can run on the bench. This is just scratching the surface on the multitude of different combinations you can run. This is one way of running the combination. You can run it with the Super Saiyan 4 full power Goku, and then the traditional strength Goku on there using that Saiyan Roar link. This team is very great at it. This is probably the better one, more consistent one. And a lot of people say, why do you run Paragus? You should run Turles. Yeah, you could. You could run either one. That's what makes this team so incredible. There's so many options you can run on this team here. So coming in at number 5, Transformation Vegeta and the Pure Saiyans category. And yeah, it's here because of versatility. So coming in at number 4, still probably the hardest hitting team in the game, and that is Representatives of Universe 7 category, key plus 3, HP and attack defense 177%, and it's still the highest leader skill even to this day, even in JP, and has a secondary leader skill of tech, key plus 3, HP and attack and defense 90%, which is really good as well. But we all know this is the LR Friku team. You're going to have to run MVP 17 and run the tech support TN there. And then the rest, who cares? You can put whatever you want from the bench there. Now, the unfortunate portion of this, I've said this many times, you do have a hole in defense because the TN isn't really going to tank very well, and you always want him in the first position to lower that attack for LR Friku to get maximum damage. And if you don't have those two units, if you don't have MVP 17 and the TN, you know, your damage dealing is going to be dropped significantly, and this is really a limited team, so that's why it's not number 1. A lot of people say, well, this is the most damage. It's incredible, it's great, but the flexibility in itself overall wise just isn't quite there, so that's why I still have them at number 4 is Representative of Universe 7 category with LR Friku. Coming at number 3 still brings a tear to my eye, and that's Potara. Potara was number 1 for such a long time. I think it was like 6 or 7 months. It was the reigning champ, and it still holds a great place in my heart. That is Potara category, key plus 3, HP and attack 170%, defense 130, with a secondary leader skill of int, key plus 3, HP and attack defense 90% across the board with LR Super Vegito. I love this team. I know a lot of people want it at number 1. But I just, you know, it doesn't have a really good support unit, as you can see there, and it is somewhat limited for the options for Potara. Now, with the introduction of Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission, will we get the Heroes banner so that's right, are we going to get the Thickness of Time? I couldn't remember, but the Thickness of Time, will she come into this team and save it and move them maybe back to number 1? So that's all we can hope for Potara at this point in time. But yeah, this team, I've said this 6 months in a row, there's no other team that can provide you a LR transformation. They give you 100% HP back. You have a healer in LR Rosemasu. You have a extreme support unit there with defensive support with LR Rosemasu, with strength Rose. You have the SA boost there. You have a additional attack person with Tech Vegito Blue. You have a counter attack person with Super Vegito. No other team has all these multitude of different things. So, but unfortunately, it's still number 3 because the next 2 teams are just better, and we know that. And that is coming in number 2 at a solid spot. Number 2 is Gogeta Blue, Movie Heroes category, Key +3, attack 170%, HP and defense 150%, with a secondary leader skill fusion category, Key +3, attack 170%, HP and defense 130%. Really, Movie Heroes and fusion category, it doesn't really have that many units in it, so that isn't a huge benefit there. But look at this team; it is stacked. It is stacked to the gills. Probably another one of the best 1-2 punches in the game in Gogeta Blue with Easy A Gogeta. Really incredible there. But this team does lack a real support unit. It does. I'm running here, of course, is Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, but he's not really, or they aren't really a attack support unit. It's just defense and key, which key is not a issue on this team. So this team, you can easily run a non-support unit team. You can run any of those alts down on the bottom there, and it will do just fine. So yeah, coming in at number 2, solid number 2. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, and that is the Movie Heroes category with fusion category in Super Saiyan Gogeta that transforms into Gogeta Blue, which leaves the number 1 still reigning champ. But the number 1 actually got an upgrade. It got an upgrade, and that is the Movie Boss category with Full Power Broly. Movie Boss category, Key +3, attack 170%, HP defense 150%. Full Power category, Key +3, attack 170%, HP and defense 130%. This is the team I introduced the number 1 spot with, and a lot of people were like, why are you running this team? That doesn't make any sense. And that is because I'm running LR Friku with Omega Shenron to get that damage reduction, attack reduction down. That's why LR Friku hits extremely hard on this team on here. Yes, you have some key issues, but the top portion of this team is just really, really, really good. However, now you have a lot of other options that you can run that is as good as this or even better, and that is even putting in the AGL Metal Cooler. And you can run this as a dual support unit with your movie bosses, Golden Frieza with the Turles, and yeah, you'll be running this really, really well. You can flex out the AGL Cooler, but you can add that unit in there. But what I think probably is now the best team in the game is Easy A Beerus with LR Beerus with Full Power Broly and LR Broly. Those 2 rotations are just incredible. A lot of people said, this team is lacking defense. Now it has a healer and some decent defense on there, and you can flex out. That's right. LR Gohan is a flex on this team here. You can flex him out for a multitude of different things. You can put in a double support there with the movie bosses support in Golden Frieza, or a multitude of different other units. But this team is really, really, really good. And just like what I say with Potara, there is no other team that can run virtually every single type of game mode in the game, because this team is the king of World Tournament, can run SBR, can run I think events really well, and also when you're grinding and you run up against units that have or an event that actually has a multitude of different units you have to kill, then this team works really great with that AoE. So you look like grinding, example, grinding out those coolers, right? So yeah, this team is the best, and it will stay the best until 4-year anniversary. So just kind of heads up on that. So yeah, coming in number 1 is the movie bosses category and full power category. Full power Broly, Super Saiyan Broly that turns into full power Broly. So let's go ahead and do the quick recap here. Man, this still went 26 minutes. Even though I try to go quick and did a quick recap here, it never ceases to amaze me that it stays at around 26 to 28 minutes here. So this is the top 10 with the newcomer of Metal Cooler and then Future Saga back in it. So I think that team is incredible. Now if you add all the categories, this is how I would add and look at all the categories with the Gogetas and stuff like that. So this is kind of where it falls in on here. Yeah, and then you have Turles, just missing out on the... Oh, actually, yeah. Actually, I would have Turles actually move down here a spot. This is my fault here. Turles should be down there. Let me adjust it as we speak. Here we go. That's what it probably should look like. So so these are the teams here that would be on the bottom, and then your top 10 if you were to add the missing category leads. So yeah, that's it. That is the list for this month here. Now it's like I said, end of April, a lot of things can change, and hopefully you guys got a lot out of this video. And once again, thank you guys for your support. I'm so happy to hit 20,000. Once again, thank you for that and having that stream celebration there. We'll see you next month. So if you are new to my channel and you'd like to continue on the series, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time.